I see a brighter day in you. Don't you listen for what you're going through. You're not gonna keep me. Listen, cause I know I got sunshine on your mind. I got sunshine on your mind. I got sunshine everywhere I go. And I want you to know I got sunshine when it hurts. When nothing seems to work. I got sunshine. You see the sunshine. I got sunshine on my mind. I got sunshine all the time. I got sunshine everywhere I go. And I want you to know I got sunshine when it hurts. And nothing seems. I got sunshine. You see the sunshine. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Y'all got sunshine too? No gas in my tank, and I got myself to thank. I had to make $10 left for 3 weeks of the play. All of the bills I do, I don't know where I'm going through. I gotta keep it moving till I get to my breakthrough. I see a bright day. Sometimes I'm missing for hell I'm going through. Maybe not good, Lord, keep me. Listen, cause I got sunshine on my mind. I got sunshine all my time. I got sunshine everywhere I go. And I want you to know I got sunshine when it hurts. And when nothing seems to work. I got sunshine. When you see the sunshine. La 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 la. If you're working every day, so job get okay. Feeling like a darkness in your way. Listen, let me tell you what you wanna do. Open up your mind and know the sunshine is in you. I see fire taking you. Don't you listen for what you're going through. You're not gonna keep me. Listen, cause I know I got sunshine on your mind. I got sunshine on your mind. I got sunshine everywhere I go. And I want you to know I got sunshine when it hurts. I got sunshine. Do you see the sunshine? I got sunshine on my mind. I got sunshine all the time. I got sunshine everywhere I go. And I want you to know I got sunshine when it hurts. And nothing seems to see the sunshine. La, 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 la. Sunshine in my head. sunshine. Y'all got sunshine too? Da, 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 da,
Da 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 da.
da, da. No game,
I got myself to blame.
I had to make it now. It's like for 3 weeks on the plane. All of the bills are due. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta keep it moving till I get to my breakthrough. I see a brighter day. Sometimes I'm missing, but I'm going through. Listen, cause I got sunshine on my mind. I got sunshine all my time. I got sunshine everywhere I'm going. I want you to know. I got sunshine when it hurts. And when nothing seems to work. I got sunshine. When you see the sunshine. Da 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 da. If you're working every day, some job getting no pay. I know it's hard to see the light of darkness in your way. Listen, let me tell you what you ought to do. Open up your mind and know the sunshine is in you. I see a brighter day in you. Don't you listen for what you're going through. Listen, cause I got sunshine on your mind. I got sunshine on your mind. I got sunshine everywhere I go. And I want you to know. I got sunshine when it hurts. When nothing seems to work. I got sunshine. Yeah. Do you see the sunshine? I got sunshine on my mind.
Yes, we are loading up for UNA University's Back to Basics seminar. I got sunshine. Yours truly, Deep Marie, in the house. Da 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 da. Yeah. Da da. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing started. Pre-session. I got sunshine all the time. I got sunshine in my head. I got sunshine everywhere. I got sunshine on my mind. I got sunshine on my head. I got sunshine. Hey, do you see my sunshine? Halo, halo, halo. Yeah. Diva, what's going on? Listen, we are here, week three. Week three, this pre-session for the Back to Basics seminar. I want to welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. We are live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Catch us on YouTube at UNA Republic. Catch us on Facebook at UNA America. And I am yours truly, Diva Laree. Halo. We gotta get this thing started now. This is the pre-session. Y'all know we do our pre-session before we load up at the top of the hour in the Zoom room with our private seminar. I want to invite everybody to that seminar, okay? This is the Back to Basics seminar. It's on Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. And the Back to Basics seminar deals with getting yourself under trust. We do these seminars to make sure that we leave this door open so that those who are not familiar with this information can get to it in the event that you've never heard of this information. We don't want to leave you out. So we're giving you some information. When we do these seminars, we're going to bring you some remedy. If you're paying attention, you're going to get it. Now, the purpose of the seminars is to actually do it, to walk you through it. So, you got people who just teach it, and that's fine. Just like, when you go into a gym, you have a trainer. That trainer is going to have you do it right then and right there. And that's what we're talking about. We're going to get you into your trust right then and right there. We're going to do it. When you leave the seminar, you should be ready to go and file your documents, put those things on public record, so we can get you into walking like the bank that you are. All right, now I want to thank the spirits. Y'all know I have to thank the spirits for allowing us to be here. And y'all, my spirits with vessels, thank you for being here and wanting to partake in this information. So, what are we dealing with today? This is the Back to Basics seminar. We're in week 3. We're dealing with today in the seminar, we're going to be going over jurisdiction. What is jurisdiction? We're going to be going over your original instruments and what an instrument is to some degree. We're actually going to get into that document, the documents that you need to put on record, what you need to know about them, why you need them, what the purpose of them are, how to stand on them. All right, so that's what's important. So when you're coming into these sessions, it's not that we're doing your documentation for you. We can't stand for you. You have to know the law and stand for yourself. That's what the purpose of these sessions are. Let me do a rundown of what we've got going on this summer season 2021. This is a what I call a full load. We got a full load this season. We've got 3 seminars that we have going on. We have the history, where we're getting into detail on what is going on with respect to from everything from your vessel to this land that we're on to this quote unquote system or government system that's going on here. We're getting into all of that and understanding what really is your standing in the game and how it all started, so that you can recognize how that is similar to what we have in this system and getting yourself out of the system. So those are on Sundays. All right. That's that history, what you never learned, history, what you never learned. And those are on Sundays. All right. Sundays from 3 to 5. If you want to be a part of any of these seminars, go to unauniversity.com, unauniversity.com. Now on Mondays, which is today, we have the Back to Basics seminar. This is dealing with getting your straw man. Some of you all know that term, or your all capital letter corporation that your mother created for you, your estate, under trust. All right. Protecting your assets and pulling them out of the matrix. So this is on Mondays, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to be a part of it, go to unauniversity.com, UNA.com, unauniversity.com. All right. So now on Wednesdays, we have the Financial Instrument Seminar. And if you want to be in that seminar, you must have a prerequisite of the basics. You have to have an understanding of what's going on with respect to trust. You have to have be under trust or on your way to being in trust. That's a serious seminar. We're dealing with instruments and really understanding this game even deeper and how to stand and sign as the banks that we are. Now, with that being said, let's get into what we're doing today, because I want to bring you all some remedy and go over some things that I've spoken on in the past. Now, I spoke about we're dealing with jurisdiction. All right. That is a big deal. A lot of people will see, videos of people on YouTube or whatever, and they're fighting about in court, fighting about, oh, well, you don't have jurisdiction and you don't have this. All right. So let's understand what jurisdiction is. Now, as per the Constitution, when we're talking about jurisdiction and you're being charged, one of the things we have to recognize is what jurisdiction is. As per the Constitution, if you're being charged with a crime, then you have the right to face your accuser. Now, the other part of that, when we're talking about Constitution, is that if you have not done harm to another physical being, a physical human being, then the courts, which they're not really courts, but these courts have no jurisdiction over you. They don't have the right to be trying to try you. The only way they can get jurisdiction is if you consent. And so we're going to go into today some of the ways that people end up consenting without recognizing it. All right. We're going to go deeper into it in the seminar. I'm going to go into it briefly here about why You'll see these people on these sessions or on these videos, they're talking about jurisdiction. Well, the thing is, you can't just say, hey, you don't have jurisdiction. You have to understand what that means. You have to be able to display that you have a full understanding of jurisdiction. Another thing about jurisdiction is that we're not recognizing that a lot of these judges, lawyers, prosecutors, or what have you, they don't have jurisdiction over you. And really, most of these judges, if they're not under oath, they don't have the jurisdiction to be even sitting in a court. Now, there are ways to even, get around all of that, because we go into things that you should do to keep you from having to go into a court in the first place. But let's just go through this and understand some things about this jurisdiction. Now, when we're talking about jurisdiction, once again, I say, if there's not a real life flesh and blood person that you have harmed, then there is no jurisdiction of these courts. And let's understand this. Why? Because these courts, they're private corporations. That's really what they are. When you go into court of whatever, court of this and court of that, you got to recognize that these courts are private corporations that are trying to get you to consent to contract with them. All right. And when we don't understand who we are and that we cannot be forced into a contract, then we end up signing documents that we should not be signing. We end up saying things that we should not be saying, and doing things like going into a court when we should not be going into a court. Now, getting into jurisdiction. First of all, if you go into a court, and you've got to understand that this is a seance, this is a spiritual undertaking here that's going on, or a spiritual session. And when they say, all rise, and you stand up, well, you have said you're a dead entity. You said you're under their jurisdiction. You've done what they've told you to do. It's like a Simon Says. It's like a Simon Says. They just said, all rise. They ain't say Simon Says. You just stood up. We're not going to talk about who Simon is right now, but you understand what I'm saying. All rise. All dead people rise. When you stand up, you said I'm dead. And then you said I'm under your jurisdiction, because they can't deal with any entities unless they're dead entities. So I hope y'all are getting this, because a lot of us are not understanding the sheer spiritual side of this whole game. And that's what those who are playing the game want you to do, be ignorant of the spiritual side. Well, when you go in there, recognize there's a spiritual game. Now, when we got past, they're saying all rise. When they say the name or sound the name, because they're not really saying your name. Your name is the upper and lowercase spiritual name. They're not going to say your name. They're going to sound your corporation name. They're not calling your name. That's why, they'll say, when we sound your name. No, they're not saying your name. They're sounding something that sounds like your name. Okay, well, when they say or sound your name, and they call that corporation name, and you answer to that corporation name because it sounds like your spiritual name, well, then you once again put yourself under their jurisdiction. You said, I'm a dead fictitious entity. Now, why is that important? Some of y'all don't know the difference between your all capital letter name, with your corporation name, and your spiritual name. Your all capital letter name is the straw man, as you might have heard it. That's the straw man. That's what they're calling. They're not calling you. They're calling on your corporation. And you're answering in place of your corporation. You're saying, I'm here. You're telling them that you're not your dead entity. Okay. And so when you do that, you've got to recognize, once again, you've put yourself under their jurisdiction. The next thing they're going to say is guilty, not guilty, no low. Mr. Jones, guilty, not guilty, no low. Well, they're asking you to enter a plea. As soon as you enter any plea, you have consented once again, to be under their jurisdiction. The first two times you just said I'm dead entity. Then when you answer guilty, not guilty, nolo, you said I'm under your jurisdiction. That's, you have given consent. This is how we put ourselves at a lower level than what we are supposed to be walking at, because you're saying things, you're doing things, and you're signing contracts every time you make some kind of motion. That's why it's important to understand what's going on when you go into these places, which is where you're not supposed to be in the first place. However, let me continue with jurisdiction. One of the things we have to learn to do at this point, when they're guilty, not guilty, nolo, we have to know what to say and why we're saying it. All right, guilty, not guilty, or nolo. You need to say, first of all, when they sound the name, I'm the authorized representative of that estate. I'm making a special appearance. Special. And so when you say that, what you've just done is you've just made it clear, I'm not the dead entity. I'm the representative for the dead entity or the corporation. I'm here appearing on a special appearance. And I need to understand what your jurisdiction is over this case. Well, of course, they're going to play dumb because they're challenging you. What does that mean? My jurisdiction, you see this road? They're going to get smart with you. They're going to do everything they can to throw you off your square. As the authorized representative, however, you have halted the case. They can't even proceed once you have said, I need to know what the jurisdiction is. But you have to understand what it is you're asking for. Now, the next thing you would want to do, let's say they're claiming that you've broken some codes or statutes or ordinances. You were speeding, and all right. Now, because you got to understand, they brought you into this court on a lawsuit. A lawsuit, because that's what it is. They're suing you for whatever these code, statutes, and ordinances are. And you got to understand, this is not a government you're going up against. This is a corporation, and a corporation does not stand at the level of a human being. I want to thank all of y'all who are choosing to listen. Congratulations. Hopefully this information will bring you some remedy. But you've got to understand that when they're asking you guilty, not guilty, or nolo, and you're saying, hey, what is the jurisdiction? You're going up against some people who are bringing a lawsuit, and they're suing you for some code, statutes, and ordinances that you really don't have to contract with them on. But because you've signed things already, that's why you're in court, because you didn't answer contracts already. That's why you're in court. So now that you're here, we don't want to make it an argument, because the fact that you're in that court in the first place means that you are in dishonor. You are in dishonor. You haven't honored contracts. You don't understand contract law. That's the most important thing. But I'm giving you an understanding of this jurisdiction because you really shouldn't be in this court in the first place. But some of y'all have seen these cases, and I need you to understand what's going on. First of all, once you get in there. But we even go further in the seminars and explain how you don't get to that point in the first place. But in explaining jurisdiction, if you're there and you have, stated, I'm here, the authorized representative for the estate. I need to, for you to establish your jurisdiction over this case. What you're asking them is, listen up, pay attention. Pay attention. What you're asking them is, where is the real live entity that I have harmed? Where is the real live living entity that I have harmed? Well, Mr. Jones, you broke the rules of the state of Texas, and okay, well, where is Texas? Where is she? Where's the state of where is she? Because I need her to be here if she's going to be trying me and suing me for something. Because Texas has to be a real person that's suing me. So where is Texas? Judge, where's Texas? No, Texas. Texas is not here. Texas is a state. You broke code, statutes, and order. Yeah, okay, I understand, Judge. But but if Texas is suing me, I need her to be here. And of course, Texas is not going to show up because Texas is a dead fictitious entity. What is the state of Texas? It's a corporation, a corpse, as in dead, corporation. And so there's never going to be a situation where the state of anything can bring a charge against you in anybody's court because you understand jurisdiction. Now, if you're there, you got to remember you're in dishonor because you haven't answered and you haven't stood like a sovereign. But even if y'all got to understand all the way throughout this process, any kind of court process, it doesn't matter whether you're talking about your mortgage, liens, you're talking about child support, all the way throughout the process, all the way down to the judgment and the verdict or whatever it is, there's always remedy. But if you're standing in order, you're going to know how to effect that remedy. All right. So that's what's going on with jurisdiction. As far as tickets, let me say something to you. A ticket is a contract. This is what we haven't been taught, what we haven't learned. A ticket is a contract. And by law, by maxims of law, look them up, no one can force you into a contract. Now, if you all don't have the universal laws and the hierarchy of laws, I invite you to go to unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS, unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS, and download the hierarchy of law and the universal laws. Because what the hierarchy of law is going to show you is what the hierarchy is of these different laws that I'm speaking about. And I just talked about the maxims of law. They're very high on the law chart. You got to know them because it doesn't matter where you go on this planet, everybody respects the maxims of law. Those are known as God's laws. They come from the Bible. I talked to you all about the Bible last week and why it's important to know how to use that book as a tool. All right. So when we're talking about the maxims of law, those are God's laws, and they say nobody can force you into a contract. This includes a ticket. When these cops, and they're not officers because officers are elected. These are cops, they're just hired. And they are supposed to have, let me rephrase that. They don't have the right to force you into a contract. So if they're telling you we're gonna if they're arresting you, and really y'all need to pay attention to this. There's only 3 reasons why they can lawfully arrest you. And this is according to federal codes, which federal codes, all of these organizations or corporations, they sit under the federal codes. But one, if they have full reason to believe or if they have seen you commit a crime, that's number 1. 2, if they have full reason to believe you have committed a crime, meaning they saw some blood, or they got a gun, you got a gun, whatever. They got full reason to believe that you committed a crime or about to commit a crime. And 3 is if they have a warrant. This is according to federal jurisdiction, federal codes. So we got to know these things, then we understand what our rights are. So jurisdiction and understanding contracts. Contract, the ticket is a contract. All right. So when they're coming at you with this contract, they're trying to sue you. They're trying to get you to contract. The problem with this is that we don't know it's a contract, and then we don't answer it. When you don't answer, done is agree to the contract. Well, what do you mean answer it? Well, when you get that ticket, if you happen to sign it, and there's ways that we go into how to sign it, but if you happen to sign that ticket, what you have to know is that once you signed it, you have to address it within 10 business days. Within 10 days, you've got to address this ticket. If you don't, then you've agreed to all of the terms of the contract, which the ticket is a contract. The ticket is a court. So they're conducting court with you right there on the side of the street. They haven't told you that. They just tell you, oh, yeah, yeah, show up in court in 30 to 40 days. Well, by the time you show up in court, you've already agreed to the ticket or the contract or the court that was already that happened on the side of the street. So you got to know these things and understand how to walk in this game, because you've got agents out here who are constantly trying to get you to contract with them. And if you don't know to say no, or know how to say no, you don't know how to do conflict resolution when these people are coming at you, then you're going to fall into the system. So these are the things that we need to know about how to walk, how to conduct ourselves so that we come out on the top when we're dealing with these agents. All right. And we also go into in the financial instruments course on how to take these encounters and flip them to where you getting paid. Because really, when you're dealing with these agents, they're trying to contract with you. Well, if they're trying to contract with you, that's business. Let's make some money. All right, we'll talk about that. We're going to load up into the Zoom room. Once again, if you want to be a part of these seminars, go to unauniversity.com, unauniversity.com, and you can sign up for the seminars. You can, if you have any questions, you can hit us on UNA America on Facebook. Make sure you join us on YouTube, UNA Republic. Join us on Facebook, UNA America. All right. And we're going to see y'all in the seminars. I appreciate you. Thank you for wanting to learn. Oh, appreciate you for wanting to learn. And we're going to get with you in the seminar. Diva, I love y'all. I'm out. Bye-bye.